Welcome back to the channel, guys. Mule Fabrication. We just got the Hero Rock Crawler Jeep out of the enclosed trailer, and we're going to do some work to it. We are going to be building a back seat in it, but first we got to get it running. Getting out of the trailer, alternator started overcharging. Probably the voltage regulator in this thing is bad, and it boiled the battery out of the Jeep. So we are going to replace this alternator, and then we are going to get it running. We're going to wash it up. And then we're going to build a back seat in it for these kiddos. You guys excited to go rock crawling this year?
Yeah.
Excited to go rock crawling, Charlotte, this year? Yeah! Well, that is what this video is. So, we will get at it. We'll get it alternated. We're going to get it running. You guys going to power wash it?
Yes. Yeah.
And they're going to help me build a back seat. We're going to figure out what seat we want. We're going to order a seat for the back. And this family is going rock crawling. Woo! So the idea is with this back seat, it's a mess back here. I had this tote here, a toolbox mounted, and we'll have to clear those out and hopefully put the seat right here. I might have to move the fuel pump and some tranny cooler lines. And then this part of the cage here, I think I'm gonna take out so that it's easier for the kids getting into the back seat. And the seats I found online actually will fit in between there. It's like 34 inches in between this cross piece. So I shouldn't have to move that. So you guys gonna help me clean out the back?
Yeah.
Yeah?
First I'm gonna pressure wash it, then.
Well, yeah, let's clean out the back so we can pressure wash it all out.
Yeah. Do that.
So I'm gonna start by pulling this aluminum sheeting that I had in here, and I'm going to cut this bar out here, and then I'm going to have the kids crawl up and in and out of here to see how it feels. I might cut a little foothold step in here so make it a little easier for them getting out, but I don't know if I'm just going to delete this bar or if I'm going to bend something lower. It'll all depend on how easy it is for the kids to get in and out. So let's take this off, and we'll see where we go from there. It'll make it easier, too, when I'm trying to clean out the back of this thing and move stuff around with this piece out of there. So I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit once these are cut out and we have the kids crawling in and out. Charlotte, where are we putting that seat?
Here.
In Daddy's Jeep? Are we doing it so you can go rock crawling? Rum rum. So as you can see, my tranny cooler lines, I barely had enough line. So it was draped in here, but I had toolboxes here, so it wasn't a big deal. So to try to get a little bit more length out of those lines so that seat can sit right there, I got some 90-degree fittings that are going to go right here to help push it out and take some of this kind of like the hump out of the line and get me that next couple inches that I need without having to buy new braided hose and make all new hoses for it. So I'm going to get these on, and I'm going to be cutting this bar out, trying to fit the seat in. Let's see if I can do this without making a big mess. If you guys have ever made AN lines with these braided hose, they are a pain in the butt. They poke your fingers and you're trying to shove them in there. Not fun. So hopefully this quick, easy fix does it. Oh, that's gonna work, I think. I don't know why I didn't think of this when I first built this Jeep, but I was in such a rush to build it. I wasn't thinking clear. Oh, more better. More better. We got those in. Let's see how much extra Oh yeah. That'll work because then they can tuck right up underneath the seat. That was a good idea. I'm stuck in here. I really should have brought my Portaband home from work. This job would make this a lot easier. There we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Chopped it out just rough. We'll clean it up later. But we gotta see if the seat fits. To see, we gotta get it to fit. I hope I don't have to move this bar. Nope, not even close. That means I'm gonna have to cut this roll cage bar out next. More tube work and stuff to patch later. So in order to get the seat in, as you saw, we couldn't fit it in. I have to remove this tube here. I was thinking about making a new one and bending it up this way to make clearance so you could take the seat in and out, but I think I'm just going to cut it out, put these tube clamps in, right in here, so you can take it in and out if I ever got to get the seat out. So I'm going to sawzall this out, shorten the tube up, put these clamps in, and then we'll almost be ready to test fit this seat in here and vacuum the mud out from inside and wash this thing. But we're making progress. All right, here goes test fit number 2. It fit. Oh, it goes in there. It's a tight fit. I think I'm gonna have to move the fuel pump so I can bring it back further here. I'll look at it, pull it out, see what I can do. Test and fit, back and forth. So a little status update. Cut that cross piece out. I moved my fuel pump over here when it was over there because I want to get this seat far back as we could. And I cut off the old toolbox mount. So the seat came with these little brackets. I'm hoping these are going to be perfect for if I can weld them right to this roll cage bar here and then build a rear mount. So I'm going to stick it in there and block it up with some wood and stuff and see how we can get this thing to fit. So I'll let you know when I get it in there. Well, this is what I got mocked up so far. Oop, tipped over a piece of metal. Roughly sit in there like that. And looks like I'm going to have to build some extended brackets over to there. But hopefully, I mean, the kids are small, so there's not much foot room. But they should be fine. And my daughter's only 2.5, so she'll still be in a car seat back here. So, I think I'm going to call it a night. Oh, and this is a tube clamp that's going to go there from there back up to here. And I chose this narrow bench seat, not just because it fits in the Jeep, but you know, the kid's sitting here, the outside of the Jeep is here. When they're strapped in, they won't even be able to reach to outside the Jeep. What do you think of your new seat in the rock crawler?
Back there.
Brother. Back there.
You like those M&Ms, don't you? So I got the seat back out. And as you can see, let's see if we can see it better from here. I cut the X out, and now I'm fitting these in to give the kids leg room right there. This internal cage was in here before I cut it apart and did the whole exo cage. So I'm not too concerned with losing some strength in here because I got all this. So for all the people out there who are gonna say, you're cutting your cage, it's not gonna be safe like that. Well, I got plenty of tube work protecting us. That was a cage that was in there before. So get that burned in and start building some seat brackets too. So I got those two pieces in there welded in. Not the prettiest thing I've ever done because trying to crawl in there is not fun. Got some angle iron across there that the seat's gonna mount to. So we are almost at the point of testing the seat out again. See how it fits. But while that cools down, I'm gonna work on putting the pieces in for here and here. So now that I got the mounts in, or these pieces that it sits on, I put that cross piece in. You can see the back of the seat lands right there, the little weight, I don't even know how to say it, where the back of the seat sits. Then the latch I've measured out to land right about there. So I'm going to tack weld that on and try it back in here and see if it works. Hopefully we don't run into any issues with the tranny cooler lines. So I got the brackets all tacked in place. My measurements were right for that. So now the seat folds up on the back of the Jeep, so sorry for the angle. Locks back in place. So now I can final weld everything and drill holes for the seatbelt mounts and get it all back in. I think I've had the seat in and out of here about 20 times. 15, 20 times, somewhere around there. But we're getting it done, making progress. Things you do to take your kids wheeling. Better than them playing video games, right? So what I got here, I got the seat in. I got the seat belts run through the back of the seat. Let me tell you, that was not fun putting that seat in and getting everything lined up and bolted in place. Crossbar bolted up, and the seat's basically mounted, ready for children. Well, I got to mount the upper. I'm gonna mount it off that bar. The upper shoulder straps for the harnesses. I'm gonna put roll cage padding on here, but until then, I'm gonna work on making this. Back up so you can see a swing door there with a hinge on that side, so kind of keep some of the mud and tree branches and anything getting in towards the children. So that's the next step. Let's go. So now that the seat is mounted, the only thing left with the seat is I got to mount their shoulder straps for their seatbelt, and I have to build some kind of door here. I don't want to leave this just open because I don't want mud and rocks and branches getting in towards the kids. But when the bar was this up here, it was just it'd be too tight of a fit. So I have a theory, and I don't know if it's going to work. So I want to build something strong, but I don't want to use just like a standard hinge of some kind, because if you do hit it with a rock or a tree, you want it to hold up. So I'm thinking I'm going to modify this tube clamp. I think I'm going to, instead of having two bolts in it, I'm going to grind the corner out of it so that it will pivot, open and close, just like a door hinge. And then on the opposite side, there'll be another one, so it'll shut right into the tube clamp, and I can put a pin in here. So I think that'll put that bar back across and the aluminum sheeting in here. I think that'll look really clean, really functional, and serve its purpose and be strong enough. So I am going to cut this up a little bit and see if we can get it to pivot like I want. So I spared you guys the boring part of grinding, but it did work. See, I ground that corner and that corner, and then it allows it to rotate like a hinge. And hopefully when I put this side in, when it swings shut, it'll be just enough to where I don't have to grind it, and it'll just bloop. And then we can drop a pin right in there, and that'll be kind of like the door latch. So hopefully we can put the kids in here, latch the door, and we're not taking them in and out while we're wheeling that much. So I know that's going to be false because they're going to have to get out and pee every 10 minutes, but it's we can have hopes. I can hope for that. So I'm going to get this other one mocked up, get a tube cut, get it fit in here, and we'll see how this door swings open and closed. Woo! You see, in theory, it's not tacked up. It'll look something like that. Pivot there. Probably have to do some grinding on that one. And it'll lock in there. So I'm going to tack it up, and we'll see what it looks like. So I got it tacked up, and as I suspected, which I was hoping I didn't have to deal with, but like that. See, it binds a little bit there. So I'm going to do a little clearance grinding on here, and this should close and open wonderfully. And then, yeah, go back to fitting a skin back in here. I forgot I had to put tabs on here, all sorts of stuff. You know, it's always the little stuff that takes the longest. But I hope you guys are enjoying this video so far. I am so excited to be able to take my kids out jeeping with us more often, and having my fiance come with too. Otherwise, you know, it's taking turns and somebody's sitting at camp. So this is a big deal for our family. And we got the trailer too, so we can all sleep comfortably. So go from here. Soon the kids will have their own rock crawlers. Something funny to think about. You don't realize how much metal expands and contracts as it heats up when you're welding. So I had this all tacked together. I just welded, and this pipe is hot. And now it won't close. And if you look at the end of the pipe, you probably can't see it in the camera, but it is an 1/8 of an inch longer than it was pre-welding. So I'm willing to bet you, when this thing hot cools down, it will be fit perfect. Let's test the theory. Yep, exactly what I was expecting. Things starting to shrink. It cools down. It's been about 10 minutes. Before it was an 1/8 inch off. And now it's tight and it's still hot. So, and I did weld a nut on the back as a stopper. So I welded some tabs on the back of this door tube and bolted this skin back up. I had to trim this out. It's not the most sturdy thing in the world, but you know what? It'll keep the mud stuff from flying into the kids. So it's not full flipping compared to the other panels, but it'll do its purpose. So now that this is done, move on mounting the shoulder straps, and this project should be wrapped up here quick, and then I can get the kids in here and take them for a ride. Let's try that. You ready to try out your new back seat?
Yeah.
What are these?
Mine.
Your earmuffs, so it's not too loud?
No.
All right, let's get in there and get your straps on. Whoop. Oh yeah, like a glove. Look, you got purple straps even.
Yeah. Here, Daddy. Here.
Here, we gotta adjust these straps for short little girl.
My ears. I'm going to keep going. Uncle D?
Huh?
Uncle D now? You put this on?
Yep. Okay, we'll have to go through and adjust these straps more, but you're going to be in a car seat most of the time, okay?
Okay. Purple next to me.
Here, let's try the other strap. All right, Charlotte. We're gonna have to put a car seat in for you because you're not big enough. So you'll have a car seat and brothers, but we'll just go for a ride in the yard, okay?